Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the differences between Germany and the USA. More specifically, people who are PCSing here and just kind of like wanting to know what to expect and what things are different here. I'm going to be making another video all about like specifically prices of living here and the differences between here and where we lived in the States. I'm gonna try and do like a Texas and Colorado because I know that those two are two different ones, but I will explain that in that video later. But today we're gonna just be talking about things that I've noticed and things that are different from the US to Germany. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Before you get started, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. All right, so for the first time in my life, I have actually written down things I need to talk about, which is shocking. So I did different research too before I got here. So like some of these things that like if you are doing your own research, you're gonna find out yourself. But I wanted to kind of put everything that I've experienced and I've known put into like a video. So the first thing that I have really noticed is different. It's not too different from the States, but like people here follow the rules. So I know that in the States we have the rule of like don't drive in the left lane, like the left lane's the fast lane, like the passing lane, kind of stuff like that, but like people don't really follow that rule. Here people more follow the rules. Like people don't jaywalk. I mean, people do, but like it's more than it is in the US. Like people actually wait for the crosswalk to go. They don't just like look and just go. People put their shopping carts back. So it's kind of another thing that I was gonna talk about, but I'll just go ahead and throw it in here. Shopping carts here, in order to get a shopping cart at most places, I'm not gonna say all because I haven't been to every grocery store there is, but from all the places that we've been, if you've ever been to an Aldi in the States, it's the same thing. Aldi originated here, so you know, you put a coin in and it kind of like unlocks a key that separates that cart from the other carts, and then whenever you're done, you go put the cart back and then you take your coin back out. So it's more of like an accountability system, but everybody puts their cart back because they want their coin back. So that is just something that I've noticed that a lot of people here kind of talk about whenever you do your research, is that a lot more people follow the rules here and they will tell you whenever you're doing things wrong. I haven't had that experience yet, but I believe it. I believe that people will like want you to do things right, the right way. So that is one of the first things I wanted to talk about because that's just kind of like a cultural difference here than the States. They follow the rules here, not so much in the States. Another thing along with that kind of like being a better human, I don't know. They pay for gas after they fill up their gas, which is, I feel like, a thing of like following the rules. They give you that opportunity to follow the rules and you do it. So you fill up gas here and then you go inside and pay. For people who are specifically PCSing here, that is something else I'm gonna be talking about in the other video I'm gonna be making. It's gonna be going up next week, so stay tuned for that. More like prices and how that all works in the next video. But that is something that we don't do in the States. You pay and then you fill it up, and then here you fill it up and then you pay. Then these are kind of more common things that you'll notice whenever you do more research on this, but one thing is no free water, and along with that is that beer is sometimes, I would say from our experience most of the time, the same price or cheaper than water. And if you're trying to get water, you need to be able to say still or like not bubbly, is that the right word? Sparkling, duh. Another thing that I've noticed that is much different than the States is that cash only is a thing here, and in the States I really don't notice that as much. So here we kind of, everywhere we go, we try to get euro out so that, you know, in case a place that we go to is cash only, we have cash. It's not that everything is cash only, and I feel like that is something that is a misconception that I have seen when doing research, is that everything is cash only bring cash, whatever you do. That's not the case. It's just that whenever you're out and traveling or doing whatever, going to a restaurant, it's nice to have cash because you don't know whether it's cash or not, like only cash only or not. So yeah, that's something that I feel like is a misconception. about Germany that it's only cash, but there are definitely places that take card for sure. Another thing that I have learned about, I haven't really experienced it yet because we do live on a US military base. The quiet hours, I've heard a lot about it and I have seen a lot of people talk about it, but I haven't like experienced it myself really, because here, unless you're like looking out for it, I feel like you won't notice it. And I don't know if they have anything like that specifically on base, but quiet hours are a thing. If you've ever lived in a college apartment, college dorm, anything similar, the quiet hours are like, again, quote unquote quiet hours. They don't necessarily enforce it. I mean, at least where I went to school. But in Germany, it's kind of like a cultural thing where Sundays are quiet. Like Sundays, you don't mow the grass, you don't like use heavy machinery, you don't go outside and have a huge party. Sundays are definitely a lot more quiet and chill here. A lot of things are closed on Sundays, which is another thing you're gonna find out by doing your research. When people say everything is closed on Sundays, don't take that as everything is closed on Sundays, because some places have started to open on Sundays, but then they're closed on Mondays or things like that. The hours here are something that are important and you will have to keep an eye on, because in the States, everything's pretty much open 7 days a week. And if it's not, we know about it, like Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A, we know what places are not open on Sundays, but the hours differ with every place that you go here pretty much. So that is something to keep an eye on. But back to quiet hours, it's basically just a time where you don't make loud noises, you don't have loud parties. Sundays especially are very chill, quiet. People spend a lot of time outdoors. So if you're thinking that, oh, we can go to this park or whatever on a Sunday, it'll be super chill, it's not the case, because everybody's kind of out on Sundays. That's kind of what Sundays are about here, at least from what I have seen. If you're German and you're watching this, feel free to add on. Please don't be rude. I've had a lot of Germans try to like come at me for stuff, so please don't be rude about it. I have lived here for less than a year, obviously. I don't know everything. This is just kind of things that I have done my research on and things that I've noticed. There's obviously way more things that are different about Germany, but if you have anything to add, please go ahead and add it down in the comments below. If you live here, if you're stationed here, anything like that you have noticed that is different from the US versus Germany, add it down in the comments. All right, back to it. So something that is different here that I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, a lot of guys, Jake, was excited about, and he had lived here before, so he knew about it, you know? But the Autobahn here is kind of like a well-known thing because they don't have speed limits. That doesn't mean that all Autobahns have no speed limits. So it's just certain sections of part of roads that don't have speed limits, and you look for those signs. But whenever there is speed limits, people go the speed limit. I'm telling you, Germans follow the rules. I'm a rule follower, okay? I fit in here. This is my place because I follow the rules too. So they do not speed. For the most part, I'm not gonna like say every single person, but what I've experienced, most people do not speed when there's a speed limit. When there isn't a speed limit, get out of the left lane if you're not gonna be going like 300K, okay? That's just what I've experienced and seen. Jake loves that. He loves that he has his Mustang now to drive quickly. But yeah, so that is kind of like a more famous, well-known thing here, but just because you're on the Autobahn does not mean you have no speed limits. And the Autobahn is not like one road, it's like highway, you know, like we call like interstate. I would consider it more of like an interstate because interstates usually are faster and they're bigger, you know, that kind of thing. So don't get too excited though. If you're somebody who wants to speed all the time, don't get too excited, because especially something around military bases, at least from what I have heard and seen, they will set up, the Polizei will set up speed traps, basically, where there's like somebody waiting for you to speed around a corner and things like that. So don't think that you can come here and speed, because when there's a speed limit, you gotta follow it. When there's not, go for it. All right, 2 more things. So one thing that is very different here from the States is recycling, which is so sad to say, but recycling here is taken very seriously. Do not put stuff in the wrong box. Don't throw away stuff that should go in recycling. that's just kind of like a given, I feel like. But I mean, again, living on a military base, things are a little bit different because it's more Americanized here. But recycle. When you get here, you're gonna get like 6 trash cans, and they're gonna be metal, aluminum, plastic, paper, trash, glass, all that. So expect to move here and get 1,000 trash cans. And lastly, tipping. So there are different opinions on this. I feel like there's no real like set in stone thing that I have heard, but for the most part, what I have heard and what we have adopted is that if your bill is $48, $50 or whatever, you just kind of like round up to 50 and pay it. Tipping in the States is a huge deal. If you don't tip in the States, you're a bad person. Okay, that's just like a well-known thing. Let's just say if you don't tip at all, that's just sad, because waitresses and waiters in the States make nothing. So yeah, you kind of have to tip. But here, I assume that most people here, like most waiters and waitresses, make more, and they are not like, for lack of a better word, like up your butt whenever you're eating. Like in the States, everybody checks on you like every 5 minutes. They want to know if you're okay because they want a good tip. They want to refill your water because they want a good tip. Here, they don't care for the most part. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. They don't care. They're just gonna bring your food. They're gonna take your order. They're gonna bring your food, give you your drinks. Peace out, okay? They don't wanna sit and have a conversation with you for the most part. So yeah, that is another somewhat different one. People still tip, but they just don't tip as much as they do in the States. So if you liked this kind of video, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. That is everything. That's all I got for now, but I can definitely come up with more, especially the longer we live here. Anyways, yeah, so that is everything. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!